Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities are Mother Nature's recipe.
Well, bye-bye Sullivan Bay. 6 days later, we finally have a weather window. So it's just 5 o'clock in the morning. We're heading out, nice and calm. We're really hoping that it stays this way. We'll find out.
Okay, let's get the important stuff out of the way. We're in a t-shirt because it's warm in here because the furnace is working. So we're running it continuously now. I'm almost afraid to turn it off. So just a quick update. Like the title of this one says, we've headed north and we're charging along pretty good. We've been traveling now for 4 or 5 days going north and making good speed. So we left Sullivan Bay, came out into Queen Charlotte Strait and headed north and came around Cape Caution. We passed Smith Sound and into Rivers Inlet, and we spent our first night in Rivers Inlet. The next day we headed north up Fitzhugh Sound, and that was heading up towards Bella Bella. We needed to explain more about the weather heading north and what the challenge was leaving Sullivan Bay. So we're just going to show you a couple of quick videos of how bad the weather was, forecast, how it improved quickly, and we had a quick weather up window to travel with, and it worked out well for us.
So you could probably sense in our last video that we were both getting a bit sick and tired of the weather, and on the screen in a minute you'll see a couple of the systems that we've been waiting to come through around Cape Caution, and actually even in this area too. So Windy app, which we both have on our phones and is actually pretty reliable, we're showing winds of 55 to 60 knots at Cape Caution, which is the opening to really the Pacific Ocean as far as Japan. And so we absolutely had to wait for perfect weather conditions there, because the crossing itself took us in the sailboat about 5-6 hours. And so you can also see that over the last couple of days on that Windy app, that the sea height in that area was 5 meters, which, you know, it's what, 15-16 feet. And you combine that with winds, it's just a recipe for disaster.
We don't need another hero. We're out here to enjoy ourselves. We're not here to beat ourselves up. We've been around Cape Caution 4 times now. This is our 5th time around. This was actually one of the better crossings. It was surprisingly calm. We gave it an extra day after the winds died down, knowing that it would be all stirred up from the storm the night before. And it was definitely like 11 hours from the time we left Sullivan Bay until we got the anchor down. So it makes for a long day and a little stressful, hoping that everything goes well, because there's not a lot of outs once you leave.
And in fact, the last couple of hours, once we'd rounded Cape Caution, the wind did pick up a little bit, and just the slop from the swell, you know, like Ian said, from the storm a couple of days before, it was pretty uncomfortable. And the boat, this particular boat, does not like a following sea. I mean, I guess most boats don't that have a wide stern. And so, you know, it's very hard on the wheel. It's very tiring, and I think our arms and shoulders definitely got a good workout. So
now it's time to enjoy ourselves. The stressful part's over, and enjoy the videos.
Yeah, we've got a ton of video right now of sea conditions, and like they say at IMAX, this might feel so real that you think you're part of the movie, and if so, close your eyes for a few minutes and the feeling should pass. And that's actually mostly directed at Joey. We're now in Queen Charlotte Strait.
progressively choppier, I guess. And they're just roly-polies now. And the sun's trying to come out, so that's a good thing. We're approaching Cape Caution right now. And I don't know, it never turns out where these cameras capture how big the swells are, which is okay. We're just gonna bounce around here. Hang on. The first time you do this trip, you always hit these swells. It scares the crap out of you. You wonder how big they're gonna get. Now that we've done it 4 times, you sort of get used to them. But they're still, they're ominous to look at. But nothing you can do about it, you ride it out. The good thing is, we decided to wait one more day when they said the weather was good yesterday, but the seas were still up to 3 meters. And with the wind, they were at times 5 meters and subsiding. But today they said they were only supposed to be 1 meter. They're a little bigger than that for sure, but there's no wind out here, like a couple of miles an hour, so we're not worried about them getting worse. We just have to just up and down, up and down. What a fantastic anchorage. We'll look forward to coming back here on the way south and just spend a couple of days just sitting, maybe reading a book. One of the narrowest entrances I've ever been to for an anchorage. Usually there's a narrow little entrance that goes on for maybe 100 meters and then opened up to a larger area. This was close to a quarter of a kilometer in, and once you get in, there's only probably room for 2 boats. Dead calm, but then we woke up this morning to fog, so it's cold right now, but it looks like everything's lifted. It's now it's right around 8 o'clock. We were hoping to get going by 6:30, heading up to Shearwater today, so that'll be 2 good long days. It's probably about 50 something miles up to Shearwater from here, so we'll get there, but we wanted to get there a little bit early. Looking forward to going to the pub and having a beer and a burger. Who doesn't want to have a beer and a burger? What a nice treat. And the furnace started this morning. It started every morning now. The trick has been keep the fuel tank right full. It doesn't like it when it gets down to half full. It doesn't want to draw fuel in apparently. So we're taking our time and making sure of that. And off we go. tell them what time it is and what day it is.
It's Saturday, and it's 18:51, and it's not open again till Tuesday. And we're not going to sit here and wait for 3 days for fuel. So we can call them out tomorrow morning for an extra $25. Nobody here. There's on the docks. I'll bet the docks aren't even a quarter full, and we're not even on the real dock. So, what a drag.
We are there.
Well, we shouldn't be.
The real docks are there. But we just asked ourselves, what would Jim Taylor do? He'd go there.
And he'd be really proud of us. So this boat actually leaves tomorrow for the Khutzeymateen, so we'll probably see it up there. And for a 10-day cruise online, it's $6,500.
So we're not sure whether we should be relieved, pissed off, or what, but we're now leaving Shearwater at, I believe it's 9:30. And it was just a cluster. So we showed a little clip of the video of the gas dock where it had posted on the door that they were closed until Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. And if we wanted them to come down earlier than that, we could pay $25. Well, we waited around until the next morning, went to the gas dock at 8 o'clock, and then started trying to find out where you could find a phone number. We phoned everybody who's on the list, nobody to answer. So somebody said if we walked up to the hotel, which was totally deserted, that we could get emergency numbers from there. There was no emergency numbers. Another boat came in. We got a couple of pictures of this thing. It's a brand new tour boat. He's running 4 300-horse outboards on the back of this thing for about 30 people to run tours out of Juneau. And he made it up to Shearwater from Port Townsend yesterday, and now he's leaving here to go to Khutzeymateen today. It'll be a fun ride. I have to say that he pulled in for fuel, and his fuel is his bill was much bigger than ours. He said for every $1,000 you get a free hat. Well, he walked out with 4 hats anyway.
Did he really? And we didn't get one?
We didn't get one, no.
Oh, that's not fair.
But the guy was nice enough to say he was going to take care of the $25 surcharge, which was great. We bought an extra container of fuel there. So we now have 60 extra liters on the boat, and we only have 80 in our fuel tank. But we just wanted to make sure we had lots going north. And so with all that said, our bill was $200, and we bought the container. So the other boat left, and we said, I think there's another sailboat that wants to come over and get fuel. And the guy goes, that's okay, I open up in half an hour. So if we'd actually waited, nobody would have had to pay a fuel charge or a service charge. And the guy came down there anyway. By the end of the story, there's fuel all over the dock. The pump they had wouldn't even fit into our boat. It was too big. Had to use a funnel. But the weather's calm, and we're going out around. The only other rough part that we have for the next 2 days around Millbank Sound, and the wind is like blowing 3 or 4 knots. So we're hoping for just a nice leisurely cruise up there, and we decided we're going to take 4 days to make it to Prince Rupert. So we'll just divide it up, and this way we can just travel about 40 miles a day, 50 miles a day, and that should get us there. Anything else?
Nope. Where's my coffee?
Yeah, coffee's the light one.
The simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities are Mother Nature's recipes that bring